mighty OB'a Freeman here on clbTV for our weekly sports update. A lot to talk about in the world of sports. I want to bring you up to date on my thought process with the Buffalo Bills at the first quarter of the NFL season. Once again, we are seeing why Ralph Wilson is one of the worst owners in the league as far as the NFL. The Buffalo Bills are a dysfunctional organization, and some of the decisions that they have made are just simply on arrogance. Why would you, Chan Gailey, as a head coach, you examine your personnel and you bring in George Edwards, a defensive coordinator, to run a 3-4, and you've drafted 4-3 personnel for 10 years. This is why the defense is terrible. Our defense is not good. The personnel that we have to fit into this defense is for 4-3 personnel. That's why you have basically seen an ineffective Marcus Stroud, an ineffective Kyle Williams, and the person that you brought into the other defensive end, Dewan Edwards. He's okay, but he's only okay, and you're still not getting a pass rush. The Buffalo Bills are dysfunctional. They have some talent on this football team, but the people running this organization really need to take a look in the mirror. Buddy Nix has never run an organization. He's been a head scout. He was the assistant general manager in San Diego. Does he have a great eye for talent? No question about it. But running an organization is another thing. And by hiring Chan Gailey, in his arrogance, he has kept the Buffalo Bills hamstrung with some of his decisions that he has made. This was a team that was on the cusp of turning the corner. If you have a team that's on the cusp of turning the corner, you come and improve on what's already there, not dismantle it, and now you have a losing program. And unfortunately, the defensive side of the ball was really the best thing on this team. Though they weren't very well against the run, but you improve upon those things by upgrading your personnel. You don't come and dismantle it and go to another scheme, which is the 3-4. Switching over to a 3-4 is easier said than done. But the Buffalo Bills have personnel over 10 years and have drafted personnel over 10 years for the 4-3 defensive scheme. They're running a 3-4 now, and we're looking at mediocre defensive play. We're looking at very good defensive backs out of position because they're now learning a new defense. And it'll probably be another year before this team is back to being competitive. Is this a good plan? Not if you want to win and you've been losing for 10 years. Will this team ever improve again? Remains to be seen. But right now, the Buffalo Bills are a losing team with a losing program and a losing organization. And the organization really needs to look in the mirror. Not the personnel. The personnel that was brought in here was to run a 4-3 scheme on the defensive side of the ball. If they would have made certain improvements to this scheme and probably made Bob Sanders the defensive coordinator instead of George Edwards, I think this would have been a good deal. But the arrogance of some of these coaches, Chan Gailey being one, that think that they can either change people to the way they think rather than have their thinking changed to their personnel, has been the shortcomings of many coaches in this league and why they've ended up getting terminated. Will this be the termination point of Chan Gailey or lead to his termination remains to be seen. I think you see this with what he tried to do with Trent Edwards.